Like, why do women enter a relationship hoping to change the man? Why do we do that? Like, why is it a thing that we do? Why? When I was way younger, I dated a guy and he was a bad boy. Like, he was a sweet guy. He was really charming and all, but he also gave me these bad boy vibes, and that was what I wanted. I wanted to date a bad guy. Like, I wanted that bad boy energy that he was giving me. Like, I really liked it, and that's why I started to question myself, like, why am I attracted to this type of guys? Like, what's this about this type of guys that I am attracted to? I started to study and do my research, because that's how you get knowledge. You study, you read books, or if you're smart, you watch my YouTube videos, because you get. There are three main reasons why I found that women would want to date a guy with the hopes of changing him. One, but first of all, like this video, like it and subscribe and do all those things. But one reason is you've invested way too much. Like, if you put a lot of energy into the relationship, the more you put energy, the more you're more likely to put energy. It's like you feel like you've given it your all already, and you don't want to now step back after putting that much effort, so you continue to put more effort. It sounds counterintuitive, but that's exactly what we do as women. I was talking to a young girl on Instagram. She texted me and asked me questions, which you can do. She's telling me that she can't leave the relationship, that she knows that God is not happy, her parents are not happy, her friends are not even happy about the relationship, but she just can't leave because she's invested way too much, and she really loves the guy, and she just can't leave the relationship. And I understand that. Like, I really don't understand that. It's like, in her mind, it's like, I've put my all into this, it has to work. Yes, she's right, relationship involves work, and you do have to put effort, but you have to love yourself more than you love the guy, and you have to love God more than you love the guy. So once the guy is taking your attention away from yourself, your family, your friends, you know you're already investing way more than is healthy. Better to live now when you're still happy and sane and healthy and you're in one piece, than to live 20 years later when you already have 3 children for him and you realize that he's a horrible guy that will never change. Because honestly, it's not your job to change the guy. If he isn't mature enough to change himself to act right, then he shouldn't even be in a relationship in the first place. And I just wish girls can understand this more. And it's so easy to say, like, it's so easy to say when I'm facing the camera, but in real life it's so hard for me too. So I hope you would put that into practice. Love him, love God more than you love him, love your family and friends more than you love him, at least in the beginning stage before you get married, so you can be able to discern whether the relationship is working for you and set healthy boundaries and healthy giving of self. Because yeah, love does involve giving of self, but when you're doing too much too soon, that's when it becomes unhealthy, obsessive, and you're setting yourself up for trouble. Number 2 reason is our maternal instinct. And when I read that part, I was like, cringe.
I don't do that. I don't do this. I'm not his mother. I'm not trying to be his mother. I'm not this maternal instinct. No. That doesn't apply to me.
But in reality, there's a feminine urge to actually nurture and take care of those we love. It's just natural. We can't help it. And then once we start saying that, oh, we can help this guy, oh, we can help this guy, and you know, he needs help with these little things, and it's healthy to be able to help your boyfriend or whoever you love in the little things, like in the basic normal life things. But when he becomes overly dependent on you, when he becomes to look to you to advise him, to take care of him, to do basic things, like, are you changing his diapers? Like, will you do that too? You're doing way too much for him. He's overly dependent on you. He can't survive and be like in an adult male on earth without you. Then it's definitely unhealthy. These videos where a fashion designer goes to a thrift store and she sees all these rags and they're looking so haggard, and she's like, I can change this into something phenomenal. I can change this something that will wow my audience on the runway. So she picks the rag up in hopes to transform it. Yeah, that makes sense for clothes. It doesn't make sense for men. It's not your job to mother any man. It's not your job to take care of any man. It's just not your job. The 3rd reason is because of the thrill and the challenge it brings. That it just reveals our deeper psychological childhood traumas. Yes, that's a lot. It was a lot for me to actually read, because it was like,
Oh my God, is this real? Do I have daddy issues? Yeah.
These things come in patterns. So when you see yourself always dating a particular type of guy, inconsistent guys, or guys that lie, or guys that are criminals, or guys that just do some shady things, or guys that are mean to you, when you see yourself dating this type of guys consistently, it usually stems from your childhood trauma. Like you were used to the idea of inconsistency or cruelty or any form of red flag as love. Like in your head, that's what you call love, and you won't see it on the surface conscious level. It's usually deep and subconscious, and there's lots of psychological issues that go into it. And I'm not a professional, so I'm not even in the place to tell you about it. I have read a lot about it because I feel like it relates to my life, but I'm not even in the shoes to tell you about that. I feel like you should go and study more about it, or maybe speak to a therapist if you feel like, yeah, that sounds like you. But for a lot of us, that excitement that we get from toxic relationship, we just love it. Like that feels like love to us. Like, and that's why when you're dating a good guy, it feels boring. That's so real. That's so real. And it feels like, is this even love if I don't feel excited, and if I don't feel that thrill, if I don't feel the challenge of having to mother him and shape up his behavior? That is a huge red flag in yourself as well as in him. So you need to check yourself and make sure you get healed from these patterns. So like, you have to ask yourself, at the root of all this, at the core of all this, why am I acting like this? Why am I attracted to this type of guy? What is it in my childhood that is reflecting the type of men I am attracted to? So you need to do it in the work, and it's a lot of work, I promise you. And you may cry, you may be angry, you may go through a lot of emotions, but I promise you it is so worth it, because you start to see yourself attracted to sane guys, like healthy people, and it pays so much more. It's so much more worth it. We are attracted to what we know to be love rather than what is actually love. Like love is patient and kind and all those things that they said in the Bible. Love is beautiful, and if your love doesn't feel beautiful, it just feels exciting but not beautiful, then it's probably not love. Just praying for every girl out there, every girl watching this video, every girl feeling like, oh, this is something that they are struggling with, that God will give you the strength and the grace to overcome this, and He will lead healthy and good men into your life that you would love and be attracted to. Amen. I pray for you. Please pray for me too. Please pray for me too, because and also subscribe to this channel, because we know why are you not subscribed. If you want to learn more about relationships, click this video here or here, just somewhere